Robinhood's Q4 earnings disappoint, and it's looking like gold is holding steady, waiting for its next rally. All right, let's get into another episode of All in Society. Thank you for joining me. Let's get right to it. Hopefully, everybody had a wonderful Super Bowl weekend. Go Seahawks. Made a little bit betting with the Seahawks. Didn't see there was any way that the Patriots were going to beat the Seahawks, and not a whole lot of excitement in that game, right? It was kind of over before it even begun. But let's get to the market. We'll quickly look over Robinhood and how their shares are doing after they reported earnings. Now, this isn't the most up to date, but shares are hovering just below 80 bucks. After it hit a low around $72, $73 as crypto, Bitcoin specifically, has been selling off. Looks like investors believe as long as Bitcoin is down, then Robinhood is going to be down as well. But we'll go over some of the details of the earnings report today, and we'll see that Robinhood's business is not solely based on crypto and crypto transactions. That in fact, that's about 20% or less of the business. I believe the new CFO said it's right around 18%. So the other portion of the business is really what's driving the growth. But obviously, if crypto decides to run back up in the coming months, that could definitely be beneficial for Robinhood shares. Before we dive into the report, I'd like to look over the indexes, the scoreboards. So today, S&P 500 started strong, but for whatever reason, towards the end of the day, it could have been the fact that we were heading closer to that 52-week high again. Today, shares hit a high of 6,986, but closed to 6,941.81 cents. So it could have been just some profit taking the middle of the day. And we're just slowly building, waiting for what it seems like NVIDIA's report. One company to take a look at, and they're going to report tomorrow mornings, is Vertiv Holdings. They're an industrial company, and they are a big leader in the AI infrastructure and build out. They are going to be or should be a beneficiary of Amazon and Google's, those companies raising CapEx and spending a ton in their AI build out. And Eaton and Vertiv should be companies that are going to be beneficiaries of that spend, as well as NVIDIA as well. So keep your eyes on Vertiv's earnings. We'll look at it just here in a second. Before we do that, I just want to look at the NASDAQ, down about 0.6% today, with the S&P 500 down about half of that for the day. But going down to Vertiv Holdings, they hit a new high earlier this week. I believe it was yesterday of 208.43. Today it closed down 1%, just over at 199.62. But like I said, earnings are tomorrow morning. Analyst price targets, I want to say, are right around this area. So it'll be interesting to see if they have a blowout report or they can tell a compelling story of what they see for 2026. If any of that cash and that spending from Amazon and Google is hitting their numbers already. So it'll be interesting to see. I've been taking profits little by little up here because, I don't know, expectations are pretty high. The shares have ran up to this print. Year to date, shares are up 23%. So it would have to be a really strong beat and raise guidance for us to see shares push higher from here. Analyst price targets, like I said, right around average 200. So we're literally right there right now. So it'd be interesting to see. I wouldn't expect, or would not be surprised if shares pulled back a little bit, even if they had they beat on earnings and revenue. But we'll see tomorrow morning, one way or the other. All right, let's move on to Robinhood. I just went to Google Gemini to give us a breakdown of the earnings report. The numbers were pretty good, like I said. As far as 2025, they had great numbers. Their growth is looking amazing, especially in those prediction markets. I've recently jumped in some options. They're definitely leap options. Some are till 2028, January 2028, and then I have one that's until January 2027 as well. So I was really looking forward to shares to be after this earning report hitting closer to $100, but not looking like that's going to happen. Right now, it looks like until the next earnings report, we're just waiting for Bitcoin to potentially rebound to 100K or higher, and that could definitely um, boost the shares. There was a chart today on CNBC, and if you look at the chart of Bitcoin and the chart of Robinhood, they are essentially exactly the same. So this thing is trading just like Bitcoin. So if Bitcoin rises, we should see good things for Robinhood shares. Until then, until next earning report, we're just kind of in the wait and see. But their business is performing very well year over year. So let's get to it. So the stock was down 8% after hours, and despite record annual numbers, we did have a miss on revenue and high expectation environment that triggered a lot of the momentum in the shares to go elsewhere. And we've seen that in a lot of the AI plays as well. So it's just not, Robinhood. So let's look at the numbers, the bottom line. They reported 0.66, 66 cents earnings per share, which was a beat. Analysts had estimates at 60 cents on revenue of 1.28 billion, which missed estimates of 1.34 billion. 2025 was a defining year, quote, with 4.5 billion in total revenue and a record 4.2 million gold subscribers. So that's good to see. Crypto, obviously what we talked about is dragging. Transaction revenue from crypto fell 38% year over year to 221 million. So that's a substantial drop. Looks like retail investors shifted away from those altcoins and that crypto and towards prediction markets, because prediction markets are going absolutely crazy. CEO Vlad Tenev said, quote, "We have built the financial super app. Our prediction markets handled 12 billion in contracts in 2025, proving we are the liquidity destination for event-driven trading." Now, based on those prediction markets, it will be interesting to see DraftKings reports later this week, I believe Thursday. So it'll be interesting to see how they are performing. I know I did see some information that their app shot up on the app store for Apple. So it looks like a lot of bets were taking place on DraftKings. There's a lot of folks and analysts are believing that these prediction markets could be taking share from the online sports books such as DraftKings and FanDuel, which are the leaders. But we'll see just how much market share they might be taking from them. I still think over the long haul, DraftKings, FanDuel, those companies are going to do well, and it might be a buying opportunity right now. But we'll see, get more information in the earnings report. Back to Robinhood, new CFO, Shiv Verma. He was formerly the finance strategy guy. He officially took the reins, and he was at the earnings call. and he guided for a disciplined 18% increase in 2026 operating expenses to fuel international scaling. Now, if I can pull it back, there's this rule of 40 rule, and their score for the company is, I want to say, was like 108, which is great. That means they are holding margins and they are continuing to grow the company substantially. So that is great. That is a catalyst for long-term growth for Robinhood, and hopefully potential shares to head back to above $100 or higher. So good to see, good to know. And gold. I'm going to make this a little bit bigger. I was also looking at NVIDIA as well. Just a little tidbit as far as momentum. It looks like NVIDIA is going down, but we might be to a point where sellers are getting exhausted. We're still in the wait and see based on the charts, but it's looking like sellers are in control right now, but they're getting exhausted a little bit, and we might see momentum push higher for NVIDIA heading into their earnings, I believe, February 25th. So stay tuned, keep your eye on NVIDIA. And then gold, I just wanted to look at just kind of like where we are. Looks like we are kind of consolidating a little bit. Now, this is the daily chart. We can look at it over the month on the hourly. And yes, we had that big decline. Gold was overbought, and then we went from overbought to oversold. And now it looks like we're consolidating, and kind of just like NVIDIA, we're waiting for those sellers to become exhausted and for momentum to take control and the buyers to take control again, while those sellers are kind of non-existent, and we can head higher towards this is GLD, head higher back towards that $500 range, rather than where we are right now in 462, 465 range, 470. Yeah, more so like 465. It hasn't head back to 470 yet. But if you do see it at 465 heading towards 470, it might be opportunity for you to jump in and ride that momentum. Right now, we'll go back to the daily. Looks like we still need that MACD line to head back over that signal line, but it's not too far off. 4-hour chart looks good as far as momentum. RSI is not too high. And then the 1 hour, again, looks like the momentum is fading. Sellers are kind of in control, but I believe if you keep watching or keep remaining patient, those sellers are going to become exhausted, and those buyers are going to step back in when the sellers are gone, and we can see those shares head back higher. We want to get back into this buy zone right here where you saw shares move up significantly. You kind of see a little bit. I like looking at the daily chart. Look at that right there, those big gaps. So if we see shares head back to 465, like I said, 470, and we have this gap right here, I believe it's a lot of buy orders in there. And we get back to that area, which is about 475 to 480, 483. We're going to take off again, head back to 500. So hope you guys enjoyed that. Just a quick episode today. Unfortunately, you can see here in my voice, I was really hoping Robinhood had a nice bounce, but unfortunately we didn't get that. Those crypto transactions kind of weighed down the Q4, but that's just one quarter. Over the long haul, Robinhood is a high growth company, and I believe they're going to continue to see that. And we just need crypto to head back higher, get more momentum in crypto, specifically Bitcoin, and I think better days will be ahead. All right, I'll see you guys in the next one.